In late July 2025, a Kenyan by the name of Ivan Skibet flew to Russia to participate in an athletics tournament. His stay in Russia was only supposed to be for 2 weeks, as per his tourist visa, where his family back home in Kenya was expecting him to return by mid-August. After completing his 2 weeks in Russia, Ivan started to prepare for his journey back to Kenya. But while doing so, the person who was hosting Evans in Russia offered Evans a job. Evans told his host that he would like to have the job, but his visa had already expired. His host then told him that he would help him sort out his visa problem. A while later, his host brought Evans some documents written in Russian and told Evans that this was the job he was offering him. Despite not knowing Russian, Evans enthusiastically accepted the job by signing the documents. What Evans did not know at the time, that he would come to find out later, was that the job he had agreed to was a military contract to fight for the Russian army in Ukraine. Later in the day, some people believed to be Russian soldiers came and took Evans and withheld his phone and passport, and then drove him to a military base in Rostov-on-Don, just outside Ukraine. At that point, it's when Evans realized what he had agreed to. The Russians told Evans that if he refused to fight, they would kill him on the spot. What then followed was a week of basic military training, where Evans together with other recruits were trained to operate a Kalashnikov. What would have been Evans' first mission in Ukraine, Evans decided to ditch his Kalashnikov while on the way to the front line, and fled for his life, wandering for 2 days through a forest near Vovchansk in Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv region, where he surrendered to the Ukrainians and is currently being held as a prisoner of war. The story of Ivan Skibet isn't that unique. Since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, multiple reports have come out where African migrants are being lured by Russia with promises of credible jobs, scholarships, and even Russian citizenship, only for them to find themselves on the front lines of Ukraine, where most end up dead, while the lucky ones like Ivan Skibet get captured, leaving the families of the affected ones heavily devastated. The questions that arise from this is, why is Russia tricking Africans to fight Putin's war? And secondly, what are African governments doing to protect its citizens from being trafficked by Russia?
С праздником вас! С Днем Великой Победы